I check on Nico after dinner to make sure he's doing all right. He was quiet during dinner, pushing a spit around his plate instead of actually eating it. Meanwhile, Enzo acted like nothing at all was wrong. He truly doesn't think our son deserves to be punished. When I get into Nico's room, he's reading a comic book. As part of his punishment, we have taken away all his devices, while he loves comic books. He is sitting up in bed, his black hair dishevelled, his eyes pinned on the page in front of him. His left eye is already turning black and blue, but when I sit at the end of his bed, I notice both eyes are bloodshot. "Hi, honey," I say. "How are you doing?" He doesn't raise his eyes from the comic. "Okay. Are you feeling upset about what happened today at school? It's okay if you are." "Nope." "Nico," I sigh, "would you look at me?" It takes him a few seconds to drag his eyes away from the comic. "Nothing's wrong. I'm fine. I just want to read." I squint at him, not sure I believe him. "Does your eye hurt?" "Nope." I look over at the enclosure with little Kiwi, who's resided ever since Enzo inflicted to him and our family. I try to catch a glimpse of the praying mantis, but I don't see him. I look among the twigs and leaves inside. He doesn't seem to be anywhere. Just a bunch of flies. Oh my God, just that horrible thing escape. This day can't possibly get any worse. "He died," Nico says. "What?" "Little Kiwi died," he repeats. "He was molten and I guess he got stuck in the mold and he died." Oh, I'm not quite sure how to feel about the death of an insect that I hate it with every fibre of my being. But Nico seemed to really like him. "Where did you put him?" "I flushed him down the toilet." My jaw drops. That does not seem like a proper burial for a beloved pet, even if that pet is a horrifying praying mantis. I had assumed we would have to have some sort of sombre ceremony in the backyard, complete with a commemorative rock whenever little Kiwi passed. "You flushed him down the toilet. He's an insect, Mum," Nico says in an exasperated voice. I'm not sure what to say to that. Something about it is highly upsetting to me. "What do you think you're going to do all week while you're suspended?" "I barely know myself. You'll have to come to my office or go with Enzo on his jobs." "I don't know. Maybe I can make a play date for you one afternoon with Spencer when he's done with school," I suggest. The two of them have had a few play dates since that first one, and they both seem to enjoy it a lot. At least that way they'll have some social interaction. Would that be okay? Nico shrugs again. "Okay." Then he picks up his comic book and starts reading again. I guess our conversation is over. I wander back to our bedroom, but there is a sick feeling in the pit of my stomach. I don't know what is going on with Nico. He's always been impulsive, but it's at a new level recently. Moves are hard on kids though. Hopefully this is just a phase and he'll bounce back soon and be his old happy self. And stop punching other kids in the face. When I get back to our bedroom, Enzo was sifting around in the drawer of our nightstand. I frown him at his lips. "Millie," he says when I come in. "Did you take any money from this drawer?" "No, why?" "I had $50 in here," he says. "I think so at least, but now it's gone." "Maybe Martha took it," I blurt out. He raises his eyes. "Martha?" I still remember the way I caught her looking through the drawer of the desk in our living room. If she was going through that drawer, why not in our bedroom? I knew I should have fired her. Tea was cleaning in here, so maybe you should accuse her then. That went well last time. No. One more false accusation against Martha will be the end of her attention here, and she is very good at cleaning. She's so efficient. She works her butt off and never complains, even that one time I left dishes in the sink. I also don't want her here stealing our stuff. There are other people who are good at cleaning and don't steal your money. Plus, I've never felt quite comfortable around her. "Maybe I took the money out," Enzo says thoughtfully. "I think I did. I am just not sure." "Enzo," I say, "can we talk about Nicholas?" He slides the drawer closed. He juts out his chin in a defensive expression, and I can already see how this conversation will go. What is there to talk about? This is unfair. It's not unfair. He punched a kid in the face. It bothers me that this makes Enzo smile. A boy is being mean to a girl and he stood up for her. Good for him. He shouldn't be breaking other kids' noses. The principal says the nose is not broken, he reminds me. We did get an email from the principal informing us of this. Thank God, because we can't afford a lawsuit. Just bruised, right, is nothing. It also bothers me that Enzo seems a little disappointed that the kid's nose wasn't broken. That's not the point. He's a boy. This is what boys do. They fight. I did this all the time when I was a boy. You punched kids in the face when you were a boy. Sometime. Okay, well that's interesting to hear. I don't know if he is exaggerating or if he really means it. Like I've said, Enzo mysteriously avoided talking about his life before he came to this country. But I do know one thing. He had to flee Italy because he beat a man half to death with his bare hands. Although, in his opinion, the man very much deserved it. Even so, I have always looked at my husband as the more stable one of the two of us. I can be hot-headed, but he thinks things through. When he assaulted that man, he didn't do it in a fit of passion. That man was his brother-in-law and used to beat his sister regularly, until he finally killed her. He framed a man, beat him to a bloody pulp, then hopped on a plane to LaGuardia that evening. Enzo knew exactly what he was doing. He was exacting revenge. He got suspended, Enzo. I remind him. This is a big din. Third-grade suspension is not a big deal. It's frustrating that Enzo's refusing to acknowledge that this is a big deal. It makes me wonder even more about his younger days and what he used to be like. Did he really used to get into fights like this all the time? Maybe he did. After all, he managed to assault his brother-in-law without any injury to himself. You don't do that the first time you ever throw a punch. Enzo Accardi is a good man. I believe that with all my heart. He has taken good care of our family. But more and more, I wonder about his past. I wonder what he has done and what he is capable of doing.